I'd like to call the meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Here.
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 We're going to ask that everyone stand for prayer, and following the prayer, we are fortunate to have South Rain Elementary with their principal, Ms. Senecal, here to lead the pledge following the prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you this day and we praise you and we give you thanks for children. Lord, we also thank you for parents who have brought them to us, have trusted us in providing their children the opportunity to learn and to get an education. Lord, we ask you to fill our hearts and our minds in making good decisions that will ensure the success of our children in all of our schools in Acadia Parish. Father, we also ask you to be with those people who could not be here tonight because of illness, concerns for their family, and other personal reasons. We ask you to minister to their bodies and to their situation and bring them back to us to your service. In the Lord's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
My name is Brooklyn Crossley. Adam DuPont.
Keelan Foreman.
And we are from South Rain Elementary School. Good afternoon. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now say the Leader in Me pledge. I pledge today the habits I'll use, become a strong leader and spread the good news. I will be proactive, I am in charge of me. Begin with the end in mind, planning is the key. Put first things first, I will work then play. Think win-win with people every day. I will listen and speak so we can all be heard. It's how it works best, understand is the word. I will synergize because together is best. I will sharpen my saw to take care of the rest.
Our school mission statement, South Rain Elementary, in partnership with the community, will aim to provide a safe and supporting learning environment.
We will strive for excellence by providing high-quality educational opportunities for diverse learners to achieve their individual potentials.
By engaging in meaningful activities, our students will be able to assess, question, apply, integrate, evaluate, and communicate essential knowledge.
Furthermore, the school will help prepare students to act with integrity and to assume contributory role as productive members in society. Thank you.
Congratulating you on participating in our meeting. Thank you so much for leading us in the pledge and caring about your school. At this time, we're going to recognize student achievements from several schools throughout the district. When we call for you to come up to receive your certificate and be recognized, the board members here is going to assist with giving you those certificates. After each group has been recognized, we're going to ask that you as a community help us shift in the boardroom so that we can bring the other schools in that need to, and students that are waiting out in the lobby, so that we can do this. Thank y'all so much. This is such a joy to have y'all here tonight to do these recognitions of our student achievement throughout the year. We're going to begin with Rain High. We'd like to recognize Rylan Fontenot, who is a sophomore from Rain High, who wrote a Voice of Democracy essay in U.S. History class, was named winner of District 7, placed second in state level competition held in Alexandria on January 28th out of 2,026 student entries. And she was awarded a plaque and $200 from the VFW and the VOD organizations. We're also recognizing Dayton Young, who is a sophomore, Rain High's first female national champion wrestler, Adidas Nationals Tournament, April 6th through the 8th, 2023, held in Kansas City, Missouri. We're also recognizing Manning Fontenot Jr. and Benjamin Dupre Jr., who are FFA second place state competition winners for small engines. Also, they were placed in the top 4, Manning Fontenot and Hunter Doucette, in the forage production. We're going to recognize Chloe Bork Jr. and Leah Trahan Sr. They placed 8th in the national dairy out of 50 teams. Our team was the only team to represent the state of Louisiana. That's impressive. FFA state degrees, they have the highest award for FFA awards to students for student leadership go to Chloe Bork, Kobe Stakes, Alyssa Richard, Manning Fontenot, Hunter Doucette, and Harley Doucette. We are also going to recognize a freshman, Carly Cormier, who placed first in as Interact President at Rain High School and District Aspiring Interactor of the Year. We are recognizing Abigail Foreman, Senior, Rain High School Interact member who created the Rain Community Pantry and secured a Rain Rotary Club sponsorship to create 2 pantries in the community of Rain. Not here? Okay. Who's here? In 2023, Louisiana Bass Nation High School Anglers of the Year for Louisiana West Division champions were William Guidry Jr. from Rain High School and Tanner Meyer from Midland High School. And lastly, we're going to recognize Travis Mesh, freshman, and Chance Watson, freshman, for Louisiana Bass Nation runners-up Anglers of the Year and runners-up for the East Division Championship. Congratulations to our Rain High Wolves. Good job. Okay. Thank y'all so much. We're now going to look at, in just a moment, our student achievements with our million-word readers from middle schools throughout the parish. We did some at the last meeting, and we have quite a few more students who've made achievements as million-word readers. Okay. As they're shifting and getting the people inside, we're going to be recognizing these middle school students from Muir, Richard, South Crowley Elementary, Armstrong, Crowley Middle School, Egan, and Iota Middle School. Okay, we're all in? Okay, beginning with Muir Elementary. We have Muir? Okay. Okay, our first person we'd like to recognize from Muir Elementary is Elena Frederick. Annabelle Babineau. If you can come up and get your certificate. Ty Gerard. Allie Crater. Ava Pryor. Bailey Smith. Xavier Levier. Carter Melanson. Lucas Taylor. Olivia Smith. Brevin Guidros. Kylie Perry. Amelia Teben. Logan Wren. Carter Daigle. Lily Meir. Riley Traore. Adeline Mills. Riley Veith. Molly McCory. Gunnar Derwin. And these are the students from Muir Elementary. Job well done. I hope you have a lot of books over there. There's a lot of people doing a lot of reading, a lot of words. There you go. There you go. Congratulations. The next group that we're going to recognize for million word readers, as a million word readers, is from Richard Elementary. And we'll begin with Annalise Derwin. Oh, Daigle, sorry. Annalise Daigle, Ashlyn Francois, Parker Carrier. Annabelle Johnston. Ramsey Kinnerson. Reese Kirkpatrick. Xander Miller. Cameron LaFleur. Emma Olivier. And Wyatt Hendricks. Congratulations to the Richard Elementary Million Word Readers. Well done. South Crowley Elementary. Oh, do you see them? Thank you, Ms. Briscoe, for seeing your students out here this evening. And we're fixing to call out Mr. Roy, Mr. Scott Roy's students, and I believe Mr. Roy is here this evening. Thank you so much for assisting us with these students this evening. Okay. So from South Crowley Elementary, we'd like to first start with Michael Menjivar. Come on up, Michael. And Jacob Randall. Drake Bouillon. Halen Apsher. Carson Brown. Brandon Harmon. Kristen Veroni. Is Kristen here? Okay. Well, we want to congratulate our South Crowley Elementary Million Word Readers. Way to go. Thank you, Mr. Roy. Thank you, parents. Oh, and our librarian is here as well. Give us a wave out. Thank you so much for being here. Thank y'all so much. Thank you again. Our next group will be from Church Point Middle School. Okay? Y'all doing a great job, board. All right, our first Million Word Reader we'd like to recognize from Church Point Middle is Abigail Chavis. Abigail? And then Christus Anna Kelly. Caitlin Garrick. and Valentine Padron. And we'd like to recognize Mr. Bork, Mr. Philip Bork, that is here this evening. Thank you so much for coming out. And we thank you, the parents and the students, for coming out so we could recognize you as being exceptional readers in our school system. Thank you. Congratulations again. Thank you. And now from Rain, we'd like to call upon our students from Armstrong Middle. Mr. Jones? And the first student we'd like to recognize is Tori Brown. Ruby East. Way to go. Megan Traha. Antoinette White. Jacob Senegal. Bethany Elkins. Sarah Desitels. Riley Brock. Jacob Huffpower. Mackenzie Jordan. Micaiah Shin. Bella Fruget. Colin Kilmer. Charlie Joe. Tara Lentini. Congratulations to all of our Armstrong Middle million-word readers. Thank you, parents, teachers that make it. Okay, and we want to also recognize from Armstrong, Tori Brown. She read over 1 million words. It was what? 4 million. Over 4 million words. So that's a big achievement for our school system. That's the highest. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. Oh, well, Miss, oh, yeah, she's here. Jenna. I saw she came. No, I didn't. Okay. But from Crowley Middle. Okay, the next group we're going to recognize is from Crowley Middle. And the first student that we're going to recognize from Crowley Middle School is Layla Roy. And the other student from Crowley Middle is Aaliyah May Trahan. Congratulations. And we want to recognize Ms. Lachele Ms. Jenna Lachele for attending this evening. Thank you so much. Oh, and you have some staff members here as well. Thank you, ladies. Thank y'all so much for being out here for the children. At this time, we're going to recognize some students from Iota Middle and Egan, Iota and Egan. If those two were catch-ups from, they were added. They were, we recognized those schools last week, but we're adding these this week, okay? All right, so from Iota Middle, we have Amelia Fontenot. And from Egan Elementary, Sydney Lopez. That's it for, wait, no, we have Midland High. Do we have any students here from Midland High? He was with that group, okay. So we're going to read out these, or we're just going to wait on those? We'll wait on those. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, board members. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on with our agenda items. Item 2.1. This item is to review budget to actual comparisons on general fund and all special revenue funds.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
General fund revenue, we've collected 77.67% of expected revenues, right at $69,353,368, and expended 73.35% of expected expenditures for $66,178,770.48. Everything appears to be on track at mid-year budget projections. As of now, we're still expected to finish in deficit spending, but everything appears to be on track at this point in time to the board adopted mid-year budget revisions. I'd welcome any questions any of y'all may have.
Do I have a motion to accept our budget to actual comparisons on the general fund and all special revenue funds? Oh, is this, oh, okay. All right. Is there any discussion? No. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Got one more item.
Okay, item 2.2 is to consider expenditures for the 2023-2024 budget.
This is next year projected expenditures for the general fund. I kind of got some at the very last page. It shows the difference between the mid-year budget projections for this year and what we expected to spend next fiscal year. Basically, total general fund expenditures are expected to be $90,972,983 for next year. And the increases on the expenditures that are directly related to basically the health insurance premium increase, expected increase in property insurance, 1.75% year's bus rate increase expected, along with maybe some driver transition from, we still have 19 CPSB drivers. Some of those may be looking at car transition years bus, so that would increase their cost. Employee step increase for basically every employee go down our schedule, and a little bit of reducing staffing to offset projected deficit next year. We're looking at $1,303,267. This is assuming a flat student count, only decrease in student count next year, with only increase in deficit, and that's what the expenditures are looking like. You know, we're optimistic student count. Welcome any questions, anybody?
Do we have buses in this?
Yes, we ordered the buses, I think in August or September, they're gonna be in July. We got 2 sped buses.
And that's gonna be paid with this budget.
With this money, yeah. 2 sped buses and 7 regular buses, non-buses.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
You need a motion. Make a motion to consider expenditures for the 2023-2024 budget.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Abear, and it has been seconded by Mr. Jones for us to consider our expenditures for approval, to send it to the board for our budget for 2023, 2024. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to go to board for approval. Item 2.3. Consider approval of fiscal year 2023, 2024 salary books.
Madam Chair, this item addresses the shift to the 4-day work week and the reduction in the number of days worked in the main salary schedule booklet that's being provided. And it also addresses the proposal to increase child nutrition program staff salaries. There's a separate salary book titled Nutrition Salary Schedule 23-24. And what it does in a nutshell is basically increases child nutrition rank and file employees estimated at about $3,000 a year increase in overall salary. And this is a separate salary book because it's coming from a separate salary fund, which is the federally funded USDA child nutrition program. It will not impact the general fund, and we're asking for your approval tonight. Be glad to answer any questions.
Is there any questions?
Motion to consider approval of fiscal year 2023-2024 salary.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Aber and seconded by Ms. David to approve, consider, to send to the full board to approve the fiscal year 2023, 2024 salary books. Is there any discussion on the matter? Yes.
Yes, sir. We can provide you with a hard copy. And what it does, Milton, we're shifting to the 4-day work week. The reimbursement rates from the federal government have increased on the meals that we provide. We're going to ask our folks to provide an evening meal, an extra meal on the 4 days at the end of the day to help with child nutrition. Our reimbursement rates from the federal government will continue to rise, which creates a surplus in the child nutrition program fund. And at this point, we're asking them to do more work. It'd probably be better if we could give them a raise from that fund. The money's there. We feel like it's sustainable over the long haul. Otherwise, we wouldn't be recommending it. And it won't impact the general fund. Wish every fund was like that, but we've been very fortunate in Acadia to see the, God bless you, the federal reimbursement rates rise in order to be able to provide that additional meal we're going to ask them to prepare at the end of the day on the 4 days we'll be in school.
Any other discussion? So we're going to call to vote. All in favor of approving the fiscal year 2023, 2024 salary books to go to the full board for approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item 2.4. Consider approval to authorize superintendent to update the fiscal year 2023, 2024 salary books by any legislative action taken by the legislative session ending in June 2023.
Make a motion to consider approval to authorize superintendent to update the fiscal year 2023-2024 salary books by any legislative action taken from the legislative session ending June 2020.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Abraham, seconded by Mr. Jones, to send this to full board for approval. Is there any discussion on the topic, on the item, on the motion?
Just a quick comment, Madam Chair, if I may. As you know, things are pretty undecided right now in Baton Rouge. I don't think we'll have a final decision on what any state school system employee increases will look like until the end of the legislative session, which is in June. And this item simply authorizes us to make those adjustments if there are any.
Any other further comments or discussion? All in favor of approving the item to go to full board approval for the superintendent to update the fiscal year 2023, 2024 salary books by any legislative action taken from the legislative session ending in June 2023, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries. Item 2.5, consider the adoption of the adjusted budget preparation calendar for the 2023-2024 and the budget revisions calendar for the 2022 and the 2023.
Make a motion to consider the adoption of the adjusted budget preparation calendar for 2023, 2024, and budget revisions for calendar for 2022 and 2023.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Aber and seconded by Mr. Jones. Is there any discussion on the topic?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, members of the board, this item revises the budget calendar to coincide with the changes and the dates of the days of the board meeting calendar, since we're shifting from Monday to Tuesday.
Is there any other questions or comments? All in favor of sending this to full board for approval to adopt the adjusted budget preparation calendar for the 2023, 2024, and budget revisions calendar for 2022, 2023? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'll move we adjourn.
It's been moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Mr. Aber to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Madam President and Chair of Personnel, before we go into the next committee meetings, I know we have a discussion item on the agenda tonight. If anyone wants to comment on any of those items that are listed on the Personnel, Insurance, and Curriculum Committee, we'd encourage you to fill out a public comment card as the committee discusses the items that are on the committee agenda. Thank you.
Personnel, Insurance, and Curriculum Committee now call to order. Roll call.
Here.
Mike Reshore, James Higginbotham, Milton Seymour,
Here.
James Etta David,
Here. Two point one, receive update on Head Start.
Madam Chair, this is an informational item. You have an attachment in board docs that covers the end of the year wrap-up procedures for Head Start. Policy Council is scheduled to meet Thursday of this week. It's also graduation night for some of our schools, but Policy Council will be meeting Thursday.
Thank you, Mr. Reshore, for that update. 2.2, consider approving the renewal of employees and retirees' health insurance with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana for the 2023-2024 fiscal year.
I so move.
Moved by Mr. Seymour, second by Sister,
Ms.
I
Atkinson.
think I'm in church. Ms. Becky, to consider approving the renewal of employees and retired health insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield for the following year's 2023-24 fiscal year. Any discussion by the board members?
Justin, you have anything to add to it, or?
4% increase, the original proposal that was first submitted to the school board was at 7.8. So we did try to do as much negotiation as we could, basically based off of usage. We did have 9 large claims that exceeded 150,000 so far this year, so we just had a high usage rate. We're hoping the usage goes down a little bit next year, and hopefully get flat 0%.
So everything is determined with usage.
Everything's pretty much determined with usage.
Thank you, sir.
We were very fortunate last year to have a 0%, if y'all recall, and
Yes.
based on the usage, it looks like a 4% is where it'll settle for this upcoming school year. And as we proceed, the committee moves forward, and this goes to full board, we'll have the rates. They're on the board docs calendar agenda to show the increase in rates for everyone. The premium increase, the 4%. That's available on our board docs website.
Any other discussion? Any objections? The motion approved with consent. 2.3, consider AMI Kid Acadia Agreement for 2023-2024.
Also moved, so we have discussion.
I'll second it.
Moved by Mr. Milton, second by Ms. Atkinson, to consider AMI Kid Acadiana Agreement for 2023-2024. Any discussion by the board?
Got anybody here tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Got anything? Good evening.
How you doing, sir?
Madam President, board members, superintendent, my name is Isaac Williams. I'm the regional director for Louisiana, my kids Louisiana. I think we've had this relationship since 2007, 2008. I just want to express my gratitude and appreciation for what y'all have done for us. We've got a lot of situations around the country where we have programs where we need the assistance of the school districts, and they're not always cooperative with this one happening. Sure, we've had some tough spots out there, but, I think when you consider the type of kids we're dealing with, we're doing pretty good. We just got this banner to where we increased our test scores, which I was surprised is so challenging when we get the kids, they're so far behind. So the young lady brought that in, we're really proud of that, and we're also proud that y'all have embraced us and supported us. So that's basically what I wanted to say. I'm grateful for all the support y'all have given us.
Any major changes
No.
from year to year, or?
No major changes. We've reduced the amount of kids we serve.
That's what I was gonna ask you, the number of kids.
We generally serve 30, but we hadn't recovered from COVID. It's really tough to get staff members out there now. We tried to adjust salary, but, it's so many places paying a high salary now. It's hard for us to tell someone to come and work for us for a certain amount and not deal with all the stress that comes with our job.
Yeah.
I'd rather work somewhere else.
How far out do y'all go, kids?
How far out?
Yeah.
In the catchment area?
Yeah.
New Orleans, Shreveport, Rain, we got quite a few kids, we're starting to get an influx of kids from right here in Crowley.
Oh, okay,
Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, all
okay. And you staffed all right?
We are, I think we're down a science teacher. The biggest challenge for us is in the youth care specialists. Those are the staff members that work directly with the kids, so, they have to deal with the behavior most of the time. And, we're working hard on trying to see how to adjust their salaries a little bit, maybe to attract more qualified staff members out there.
Like everyone else?
We need people with patience and de-escalation skills.
Okay, thank you.
So that's what we're challenging.
Thank you for everything you do. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Any objection? Approved by the board. 2.4, hear discussion regarding 4-day work week schedule for 12-month employees and extended hour employees. And this afternoon, we have Renee Nugent, who would like to speak to this topic?
Madam Chair, the item is on the agenda to discuss 12-month employees' work schedules and additional folks that work beyond the normal 182 days that teachers normally work in the school system. When we converted to the 4-day work week, the focus was to be equitable across the board as far as the additional minutes that would be needed to be added to the overall calendar for all classes of employees. And quite frankly, at the time that we adopted, that the board moved forward with all the various proposals, the goal, as you all are very familiar with, a lot of the discussion became controversial as we discussed the 4-day work week. None of us and in the administration or you as board members, I feel comfortable in saying, felt like everything was etched in stone and there weren't going to be any additional adjustments moving forward. We all knew that we're going to adjust as we move ahead, but the goal was to, number one, adopt a calendar, decide Monday or Friday. We've done those things. And the next step is to make the necessary adjustments as you see the agenda items that come across the agendas that address the 4-day work week. And where we are now, the 54-minute additional minutes were incorporated into the calendar. We all are going to work the first 3 Mondays based on the school calendar. The current work schedule is 7:30 to 5. There's no summer hour adjustments, whereas in the past, employees would get off a little bit earlier during the summer in the afternoons. The 45-minute lunch break remains in place for those employees that work at the central office or are part of the district support team, whether it be pupil appraisal, maintenance, federal programs, all the various support programs designed to support the schools while they're in operation. That was the calendar that, an alignment with the calendar that was adopted to move forward as we plan for next school year. That new calendar goes into effect July 1st, 2023. I think the goal of the board, I feel comfortable in saying at the time, was to make it clear that there would be no preferential treatment one way or the other as far as options or adjustments or carve-outs for special groups of employees. And I think the board has accomplished that, but we're obviously open to any adjustments that would work or some adjustments to make it more palatable. I feel at this point in time that the biggest consternation after meeting with employees and talking to various employees and groups is having to work till 5 o'clock. That was an unanticipated part of the process of shifting. The 7:30, coming in at 7:30 to make up the time in order to be off the Mondays, I don't think that's the big issue. I think in general, the biggest concern is the 5 o'clock knock-off time, departure time at the end of the day. So that's kind of where we are now.
I just wanted to share that several people did reach out to me and shared their concerns and their perspective. And I respect that greatly because this is uncharted territory for us, as, from the central office. I've never managed people from central office. I just can't imagine the magnitude of all the things that we have to do. But I did want to share some of their perspective this evening. And I understand where they're coming from, but I think that we need to look at it and we need to listen and hear. I'd like for them to have a voice. So I'm just going to share some things that were sent to me. They expressed that in February, the option 2 calendar, which started with 5 consecutive Mondays, stated that 12-month employees would report to work from 7:30 to 4:30, and that a lunch adjustment from 45 to 30 minutes with no required work according to the adopted calendar, was August 14th, 21st, and 28th. Wait, excuse me, I skipped ahead. If we could add July 31st, they asked if we could, with no summer hours, I'm sorry. If we could, they asked if we could add July 31st and August 7th to their calendar, in addition to the 3 Mondays that they are, the dismissal is at 4:30. We choose these 2 Mondays because July 31st and August 7th occur 2 weeks before school starts. And they felt like those 2 Mondays would assist our school sites with having things open to staff prior to the beginning of school. And they felt that if they worked these 2 Mondays, teachers and other staff would have opportunity to come in and do things here at central office and the other facilities here to laminate, use resources here, and also assist them with extra days of testing students who are transitioning into the public school setting. And also these 2 extra days would hopefully help staff have opportunities to meet and discuss with the beginning year preparations. Basically, they are asking to come on July 31st and August 7th, 2 extra Mondays. There was some other discussion about making some adjustments with their lunch schedule. Would you like to talk about that, Justin?
Basically, we had some concerns both ways. We have some concerns with summer hours,
Yeah.
the 5-day, 12-month, from 7:30 to 4:30 with no adjustments for summer hours year round. The minutes do work.
Yeah.
Picking up the July 31st and August 7th day, it does work, 7:30 to 4:30 year round. Basically, they work 196 days. The other option that we were basically asked to look into was, can we do anything for summer hours? We can. Right now, it's 7:30 to 5, basically year-round with a 45-minute lunch. If you were to take 10 minutes off of the lunch for the 194 working days, that would allow, there's 30 working days in the summer. That would allow basically an hour off in the summer. So you'd still work 7:30 to 5, and then in the summer for the 30 working days, you'd work 7:30 to 4. Both ways the minutes work. It's the same amount of minutes. It's just, what's the preference? We've tried to talk to different groups. Some prefer the summer hours, some don't. 10-month employees, the indexed employees don't really care for the summer hours because they don't really work in the summer. So they want the 7:30 to 4:30. The 12-month employees like the summer hours. So, and I can't speak for everyone, but it's gonna be somewhere split. There's
Yeah.
no,
And then there's some folks that have concerns with the lunch and reducing the lunch throughout the year. I mean,
so that's basically the 3 options. Keep what we have, reduce the lunch 10 minutes year-round and give an hour off for the summer, or work the 2 extra Mondays, reduce the lunch for 15 minutes year-round, and 7:30 to 4:30 year-round. Basically, the 3 options.
Yes, Mr.
If
Davis?
you went 1 or 2 more days, would it take care of both situations?
No, even that 8-week option that the board was presenting, still doesn't take care of both situations. Basically, we need 1,800 minutes to shave to give the summer hours. And, the 10 minutes does it for the year round, but once we work the 2 extra Mondays and then shave the 15 minutes off of lunch to make up that time, we only left with a 30-minute lunch, and by law, we can't go, according to the Fair Labor Standards Act, can't go below 30 minutes. So we have nowhere else to shave the minutes from. That would be great, but I just don't have anywhere to shave the minutes from.
other schools in the state that do this schedule. Have you reached out to any of them to see what they do?
We do, we talk
Their
to
12-month employees?
Several of the districts that do it, we had lots of interaction and lots of conversations. It's some people are happy with one adjustment, some people are not happy with the other adjustment.
Like the boys, what do they do?
They go, they're unique. They do something where it's 7:30 to 4:30, but their 12-month employees go one Monday a month. So they work 12 Mondays, basically a year, to make up for the time, and then they get short hours.
That keeps their lunch right, and they get off at 4:30?
And they get, yes, and they get shorter summer hours,
What's wrong with that?
but they do pick up 12 working days. You know, it just depends on,
Depends on what they want.
Yeah.
You know?
There
I mean,
is some-
If they want the time, I hate to say it, and there are people out here, they're gonna throw stones at me, but they're gonna have to give up something, you know, and work, so.
Steve, I think the issue there on the plus side, it does solve some of the problems. But then if the goal is to support the schools while the schools are in session, the central office would be here 12 additional Mondays throughout the calendar year. And then 12-month employees also get leave. And that presents a concern as well as to who's coming on those Mondays and are you taking a day of leave? It's just the pros and the cons. I mean,
You
You
know,
never know who's getting off or
I
what.
really feel the board,
Paperwork.
the board's gonna have to approve, and we can question it, and we can look at it, but there's not one board member that's qualified to set the central office schedules. We don't know what goes on over here. And I'm sure some Mondays you're gonna have to be here.
yeah, we,
Your people gonna have to be here. I'm sure there's other offices that on Mondays, certain Mondays that they have to get things done to get it, to meet deadlines. You know, we don't know how that's gonna work out.
the work still has to be done.
absolutely.
Exactly. And, you know, if they have to come on a Monday to get it done, they still have to come on Friday because everyone's in school. So it's gonna present a problem for y'all. And we just like for y'all to come up with something that we can agree with y'all. Because that's a tough situation. Y'all have way too many scenarios for us to cover, you know.
Yeah, it's just difficult trying to make everyone happy. It's
That's the
just-
bottom line.
It's,
No, it's not gonna happen, but we're gonna have to take into consideration everything.
one big takeaway is we're just running out of time because it starts
July
July 1st. So, you know,
Now payroll, you ever have to come in on a Monday to
yeah,
get payroll?
well, payroll,
Or you can
even during
adjust
the
that.
holidays, we still come, like, I mean,
Yeah.
for Christmas, we shut down for 2 weeks, but accounting still has to show up. Well, we're not expecting to get paid for that.
Yeah.
Like, same thing with Easter break and all that, like, I mean, people still gotta get paid, the work still has to get done, sales tax still has to take,
Right.
you know, collections from sales tax. I'm just speaking of the bare minimum minutes to work. I mean, the vast majority of 12-month, 10-month extended hour employees
Yeah.
work well above what they're getting paid for. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know, it's just every 4-day work week, parish has kind of done a different thing. So it's not really unanimous. Like Caldwell, for example.
yeah.
They just basically don't work the same amount of minutes as they used to. They just shrunk. So I don't want to say this is the best. I really don't know because this option may be best for one group of employees. This option may be best for another group of employees. That's the
So
issue.
we have the availability of shrinking the minutes
Yes,
ourselves?
it's a board decision. You know, but in the end, the work still has to be done.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Justin. Do we have any other discussion?
I think what has been said here is that we have to create something that whatever district has done is created what met their needs of their people. And that's what I'm asking us to, and you threw it out there, we don't know all the ins and outs, what every department is doing and what they're working. Is there some way that we could ask for the staff here, the 12 months and the central office people, the 12-month employees, for them to have input on a hybrid calendar that, and maybe two, that we could look at to have some options that they create
Could they get
in
us,
conjunction with, like a cooperative thing together.
could they get a representative from every area? And
I would like to see that they would have input. Yes, the employees that are here who want to give that input, whether either it's,
fair.
and do what's fair, but that they would have a steering committee for that.
Yes.
That would create two options that we could look at, and that they could, hopefully, just like we did with past calendars, school calendars, that they would send it to all the people that this would affect and let them vote what they would like to make a commitment to do in this this beginning journey of going to the 4-day work week for everybody. It's, we need to try to figure out how we're going to have the most.
Time-wise, Justin, can y'all get us like two options in time?
With the input of the people.
Right, that he offered a couple of options,
I want it in front of me so I can look at it.
and we're running out of time as far as
Okay.
July 1st school.
So is that what we're going to have to look at, making a decision? Like, are we going to add those 2 Mondays, the July 31st and August?
Wait,
Yeah,
okay.
And we can shoot out a quick survey to everybody
yeah,
on a couple of options.
Yes.
I hate to bring that word
Yeah.
up, but
yeah.
I don't want a survey. Don't use that word.
calendar committee.
Whatever you need, but I'm not.
All right, now she's ready.
Just input.
How you
Hello. And
Can you turn the mic on? Just hit the green button.
What's that little button?
There we go.
How you doing?
Stand in front of it. Stand in front of it.
I'll talk.
I don't think the audience can hear that or listen.
Therapist, so I can talk really loud. My name is Renee Ginger. I work in people appraisal. I am a 10-month employee. And so basically, I just wanted to know what you guys are thinking about for us being moving hours. And something that we wanted to possibly consider would be like flexibility for those of us who do have that schedule. Justin talked about, working additional time, like coming in and working during the breaks. There are several of us that do that. And so that was just something to consider. In the olden days, we had something called comp time. I know that in the past that hasn't been used, but every supervisor needs to have that, I feel like have that discretion to be able to treat their employees with that professional respect. Because we are all professionals, right? So that's something that we thought about in our office. And in terms of the, Mr. Steve made a comment about, not everybody's gonna be happy, you have to do that something, I understand, but, I can speak for my office and say that these individuals are there working for those children. We work behind the scenes, we are necessarily in school time like the teachers are, we do a lot outside of the school hours. There are times that we do not need to be on school campuses to do what we do. So that's where the flexible time would be nice, to be an option there, because all of us want to do. So that's just kind of what we were thinking of, just some flexibility in terms of, like supervisor discretion in terms of department, if, what's coming on Monday, catch up on paperwork, that sort of thing. So kind of basically, that's all.
Who would keep track of all that?
The direct office has all report to her. That's it. Early, all that stuff. And on the different departments, and the professionalism of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Nugent. Ms. Jessica Houston?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I think knows who I am. Just to say, as a 12-month employee, I know Renee is extended, but I am a 12-month employee, so through talking to a lot of our coworkers in all the different departments, from central office, Ed, APEC, everybody is willing to get with Justin or whoever we need to get with to, like what y'all said, have a group effort to get this done and a win-win for everybody. So whatever we have to do, I mean, it has been brought up about giving for the 12-month employees 1 Monday a month. People were open to doing that. If it allowed us to get back to the time that we are at now, or as close to it as possible, and also allow us to have the freedom of our summer hours, because some of us, that's all we have to look forward to as a perk that we have. So we are 12-month employees. I'm just, through talking to everybody, taking it upon myself to say, I do believe that we can all work together and get it figured out quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simpson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I just think that if we don't do something that, you know, I worked here for many years, and we took and gave all the time. And I hate for it to get a point to where they won't give anymore. You know, Justin says that he doesn't have to worry because 99% of the people are gonna put more time than what we tell them they have to do anyway. But if we start putting so many restrictions on it, I'm not coming. It's gonna be the attitude. I'm just gonna, at 5 o'clock, I'm going, you're not gonna see me. If I have to stay to 5:10, I'm sorry, you're just not, and I don't wanna see that kind of attitude happen in Acadia Parish. That's not what we're here for. We all give, we all take, and the bottom line is, I like what she said, it is your supervisor's responsibility to make sure that you're following the rules. And if you're not following the rules, they need to get on you. And we have people at the central office that can get on the supervisors. My secretary, when I was in maintenance, we had very good working relationship. And it was because I knew that if she needed to get off at 3 o'clock to go watch her kid play football, I actually probably didn't have to write it down because I knew she was going to give me 10 hours later. And that's what we want to keep in Acadia Parish.
Exactly.
See,
And I think we can do that without nickel and diming minutes.
I agree.
we have that with our employees in the schools. You know, they get to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the average time they leave is 4. Secretary at Howard High, she's there at 10 to 7 every morning. Then a lot of Friday nights, she's coming back to collect a football game. And you don't hear a word. She just, you know, and
But they
that's
gotta
what,
not do that if we nickel and dime them.
no, we want to keep that situation because, I mean, our employees in the school are not getting paid for what the hours they put in.
That's right.
Just like a lot of people. But, and we want to keep that. And they do it, and they don't gripe, they don't fuss, they go do it. And we want to keep it with these people too.
We don't want to lose what we have. And we have lost people because, you know, they can make money somewhere else. So more money. But like what they're expressing to us, one of the things that they liked about, they like the work that they do here. And they also like the, you know, the flexibility that we had, you know, to move about and take care of their responsibilities, even when they were asked to do more, which they do, you know, and all of the people in the system, like we've all said, they all do more. So can we come up with something working together.
You know,
If we can ask those.
Flexibility is great,
Mm-hmm.
but we got to make sure we maintain the hours and the time that is being paid for. And that's the whole thing. This trust thing comes in, and I think we can do it. We should be. We're in a small rural parish. We should be able to work together and come up with things that everybody can go with.
No, we have a motion on the floor.
Thank you.
We finished?
So Justin, is there something that we can see in writing that
I mean, it's basically gonna boil down to 102,900 minutes. Like, if the board chooses to go below that, I can give you options. But if it's 102,900 minutes, it's pretty much the three options I gave you. It's not really, you know.
And that's the minutes that's now?
That's the exact number of minutes
We have been working.
going to work this fiscal year.
Okay.
After backing out some hours, that is the exact number of minutes we're going to work this fiscal year is for employees, 102,900.
And that's what we've done in the past. Exact numbers?
Well, it varies because depending on when the holiday falls. Like 4th of July falls on a Tuesday, you get 2 days off this year. The other might fall on a Monday, you only get 1 day off. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be exact, but that's, but in the end, it is, the board's ultimate decision. I just don't know if, I'm open to give it to anybody. It just depends on what minute target we're looking at.
I think to sum it up, if we can, the minutes are exactly what Justin said. It's the trying to mimic the same amount of minutes we worked last year, the 102,900 minutes for all employees, and make up the time that we're not coming to work. It is a board decision. We can look at some options. I think Justin laid some of those options out that are available if we stick with the same amount of minutes for everybody. I don't anticipate, I don't think anybody in the conversations of this school system, since we started the discussions about the 4-day work week, feel like the supervisory discretion with time, comp time, dealing with issues that need to be addressed on a daily basis between the supervisor and the employee. Nobody is saying, in my opinion as superintendent, that's going to go away. So I'd like to make that clear. Supervisors still have that authority and will continue to have that authority to work with their staff members to get the work done and to do what needs to be done. The basis for the minimum amount of work time required, though, I think is important for a number of reasons, for consistency purposes. And I think that's where we are. But the flexibility to get the work done between supervisor and rank and file employee, I don't think that's never been a part of the discussion that would go away. We don't have a time and attendance program here in Acadia Parish like other parishes have, where every minute is tracked and it's done automatically and you get docked for accumulated leave time or tardiness. We don't have that in Acadia because we feel like there's the trust factor between the supervisors and the staff. I don't think there's a need to go in that direction, but it's a possibility. It's an option that's out there for the board to consider, a time and attendance program. I don't think, hearing the discussion tonight, I don't think that's the direction that the board is interested in going in. I think where we need to go is try to at least have an option or two to present in a short amount of time with input from the employees. Quickest way to do that is to have a meeting at every building over the next couple of days before the next board meeting and get feedback from the employees and present a few options to the board.
I need that option was offered to them at the 1 Monday a month, because that makes the most sense to me. Even if I was a central office. You would know which Monday that you gotta go that month, and that would be a little bit easier to do. Plus you would get your time that you could summertime and get off at 4:30 during the year.
Still get your lunchtime.
Yeah, it takes care of your lunchtime too. And one Monday a month, I mean, it's minimal to me. And I've been in your shoes.
To be honest, with like their central office is completely closed 3 Mondays out of the month. It's not a rotating one Monday a month. It's, we're gonna work this
It's a
one
set
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, it's a set Monday.
Yeah.
So I didn't want y'all to think it was gonna be like a rotating,
No, no.
where Carol's in this Monday and
No,
I'm in
no,
next
no.
Monday.
Well, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Monday or the second Monday.
It's not a floating, it's,
So what happens if you have to come on another Monday? You just come do your work and
Just like now.
just come and do it? Okay.
Saturday or Sunday, I mean.
Works out, works out in the wash.
Does that, what we talked about, does that look like something that y'all can, like what Mr. Richard said, that we can go out and, that y'all will go out and visit and get that feedback and present as something at our next board meeting so that we can take care of that?
to try to get it done as
Yeah,
fast
I
as we
like to-
can. We may need to set up some Google meetings or a committee, calendar committee recall. It's going to be hard to get everybody's input without a survey, because I think we're going to come to the board. I don't want to anticipate or predict the future, but I think if we come with one or two options, you're still going to have varying opinions on what those options are.
Yeah, I think so. And whatever option we picked, we gotta trust that these employees are not gonna try to figure out a way to take advantage of the situation. They're gonna do their jobs. And I think that's the employees we have, and we trust them, and I think they're gonna do it.
So before we wrap up, just to be clear for the record, get input from all extended time employees and 12-month employees that work at the district support office or at the central office, because there are extended time employees at the schools that we have to consider as well. I mean, you have lots of people that are indexed that work extra hours at the schools. And I go back to the initial goal, set a calendar and not carve out any special accommodations for any one group of employees. But we do have extended work hour people at the schools. This is focused on the central office, as I understand things. This is
So we
focused
are-
on central office people.
I think, yes, that's what I understand.
Get input in meetings or APEC, Media Center, federal programs, SPED, maintenance, media, and stick to a couple of options that keep the focus on the 102,900 minutes as the goal for equity purposes across the board.
Exactly.
Try to come up with an option or two. We can look at the rotating Mondays, the options that Justin threw out tonight with the additional 2 Mondays that addresses the lunch period and the early arrival, late departure.
So we're all on the same page.
For the next school board meeting.
3.1,
And if,
a joint meeting.
Madam Chair, before we adjourn, if we need to do a survey to those employees, I think the board would be okay with that. I know that's not a happy word here, a survey, but
Is there another word we can use besides survey?
a poll.
Poll.
We can poll those employees and get a true vote
We can do it without a survey.
through Google, through email, a Google survey.
Survey gonna bid us.
We'll try to get that done before our next board meeting.
I just want to thank, I know it takes courage for people to step up and speak out, and we don't know. I mean, we don't know, we don't walk in your shoes. Everybody's perspective is that's their reality, and we need to hear from people. I even called people and talked to some people this morning because I wanted to try to get a better understanding of the big picture. And we may not always even get that, but we want to work with you. We really do. Thank you. I want to thank you for doing that.
Move adjourned.
3.1, a joint meeting.
And it's been moved and seconded. I second it. I second it. It's adjourned.
Thank y'all for coming tonight. We're good.